All right, let's move on to our next topic. I want to go down to Chicago, talk about Tyson Bagman, Justin Fields, DJ Moore, and the Bears offense. If Justin Fields' injury continues to linger into the coming weeks, I am extremely concerned about DJ Moore's upside. On the surface, it looked like DJ Moore had a decent game where he caught 8 balls. If you dig a little bit deeper, though, you're going to see that his team threw the ball less than 30 total times. So the Bears continue to call similar plays for DJ Moore, similar to like whenever Justin Fields was there, just sharp passes. They just want to see what DJ Moore can do after the catch. Yards after catch was a big part of his game. However, though, once you take Justin Fields out of that offense, defenses don't have to worry about a rushing quarterback anymore. They can let hike. Here you go, Justin Fields. They're gonna gang tackle him. He's not gonna be able to make those big yards after catch plays. Is my concern, and we saw that this past week. DJ Moore had a lot of receptions, barely any yards. Didn't have a great fantasy day. I think teams are going to encourage the Bears to continue playing them the way that they're playing them. What do you guys think? Do y'all think that DJ Moore is affected at all by Justin Fields' injury, or how do y'all think? I think that Justin Fields, believe it or not, is actually good for DJ Moore's game. What do y'all think?
I could see it going a couple different ways, and I think it goes back to one thing that was interesting, which I mean, you would assume. So one thing I found interesting was that they never really established much of a run game in general, um, even with Fields on the. And you could say it's because well they have a rushing quarterback. So, but if you look at it, Fields hasn't rushed much this year.
In my opinion, he doesn't have to.
So no. But what I'm saying is they haven't. It's not like Fields hasn't been rushing, and they really haven't established a rushing game with their running backs. So honestly, I know this. I see what you're saying, but at the same time, I could almost see them with um, this quarterback change, them being forced to become more of a well-rounded offense, being that okay, they don't have the threat of Justin Fields running it anymore, so they're going to have to figure out a way to run the ball. If they figure out a way to run the ball, then they might give more opportunities to their pass catchers. And it looks like this cat can distribute the ball a little bit better, maybe than even Fields had been doing. So while I agree, like Justin Fields throws a good deep ball, and like that's where a lot of these big plays have been coming. I mean, DJ Moore caught 8 passes. That might have been maybe not a season high because he had that one big game, but it was pretty close to being a season high. And if they become a more well-rounded offense, I mean, he could have even more opportunities to do good. It's kind of risky, but at the same time, it's like one of those weird situations where like, yeah, they might maybe they're taking a downgrade at quarterback. It's kind of debatable, but like at the same time, they might become more well-rounded. It might benefit them. I don't know.
Um, yeah, I
It's
mean,
interesting.
I'm a little. I would say. I would say I'm worried about DJ Moore, but I think his upside is definitely capped a ton. I mean, look, this bag man dude, he threw the ball 21 times for 160 yards this past week against the Las Vegas Raiders, a horrible secondary. And it's also worth noting they got in the red zone a bunch of times, and Donta Foreman had 3 rushing touchdowns last week. They didn't want to fool around with their backup quarterback turning the ball over once they got in
Mhm.
the red zone. So, man, his touchdown upside definitely takes a dip. And I like what Jock said about how they could focus in more on the wide receivers just because the threat of Justin Fields running the ball isn't there. So I would temper my expectations moving forward. It's kind of a sucky situation, but I definitely think he moves down a tier without Fields under center.
Yeah, and back to what Sap said about how like Justin Fields hasn't been rushing a ton this year. Teams, it doesn't matter if he even was rushing.
Yeah, they're
Teams
still
know in
gonna
the
have to
back of their
account for
head
it.
like we gotta worry about this, and the second we don't worry about it, then that's when he's gonna kill us. So like just that pressure, if you think of it from a defensive coordinator perspective, his job just got a whole lot easier because we don't have to worry about that. It's gonna be hike, it's gonna be short passes. If Bagman can beat us deep, we'll let him beat us deep. Um, we're gonna worry about the running backs. We're gonna worry about the sharp pass. And we're gonna make Tyson Bagman beat us, and I don't think that he's gonna do it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and I agree. I agree with that. Like, I'm not here. I'm not trying to argue that he's not taking a step back. I was just saying that like I can also see how it forces them to come up with a better scheme for their playmakers because they're taking a step back at the quarterback and they don't have the threat of Fields anymore. And for that reason, I could see a world where the playmakers like DJ Moore, or maybe they're doing more little screens to him, or they're taking more chances. I don't know. I'm just saying, there's a world where I could see he doesn't take huge steps back, but
Yeah.
it's a risk.
I do think that he has a relatively safe floor, though. I'll say that. I don't think he has a high ceiling, but I feel like, you look at that offense, they're going to get him the ball. I'd
Yeah.
expect him to have at least 6 receptions a game on average or something like that.
Agreed.
So he'll have a pretty decent floor. I don't see the high ceiling anymore.